Hey there, and welcome. Think of this as a kind of financial health checkup. We're going to cut through all the confusing jargon and give you some really practical tools to figure out exactly where you stand with your money, and maybe more importantly, where you're headed.
So let me just start by asking you a question. What's your financial score? If you don't have an answer right off the top of your head, you are definitely not alone. But stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly how to figure it out.
All right, let's dive right in. When we're talking about your financial health, really the best place to start is with one single, super important number: your net worth. So, what is net worth? Well, to put it simply, it's just what you own minus what you owe. But here's the key thing to remember: it's a snapshot. Seriously, think of it like taking a single photo of your finances on one specific day. It tells you exactly where you were at that very moment. Okay, so theory is great, but let's get practical. Let's actually build one of these financial snapshots right now, together. I promise it's way simpler than it sounds. See, it really just boils down to making two lists. On one side, you've got your assets. That's all the stuff you own that has value. Cash, maybe a house, your investments. And on the other side, you have your liabilities. That's just everything you owe, like a credit card balance or a mortgage. To see how this works in the real world, let's meet Tim and Ellen Morn. They did this exact exercise. They listed out everything they own, and it added up to $234,000 in assets. Then they listed what they owe, which came out to $126,200 in liabilities. So now we just do some simple math. Assets minus liabilities. For the Morns, that comes out to a net worth of $107,800. Boom! That's their financial score. That's their snapshot. Okay, but here's the real question, right? Is that number good? Is it bad? I mean, a number all by itself doesn't really tell you the whole story. To get that story, we need some diagnostic tools. In finance, we call these ratios, and they just help add context. For instance, a really useful one is the debt-to-asset ratio. It basically tells us how much of your stuff is being paid for with borrowed money. So let's apply that to the Morns. All we do is take their total debts, that $126,200, and we divide it by their total assets of $234,000. And what we get is a debt-to-asset ratio of 54%. So what does 54% actually mean? It means that for every dollar of stuff the Mornies own, about 54 cents of it is financed by debt. Now, for a younger couple who probably has a mortgage, this is actually pretty normal. The key isn't really the number today, it's the trend. The goal is to watch that percentage go down year after year. Okay, so we've got the snapshot down. We know where we are right now. But financial health is also about where you're going. And for that, we need to move from the snapshot to the full movie. And this is the perfect way to think about it. Your net worth is that single photo, right? But your cash flow, that's the movie. It's the action. It's the story of your money over time. And that's what determines what your next snapshot is going to look like. A cash flow statement is really just a summary of all the money coming in and all the money going out over a period of time, like a month or a whole year. It's the story of your money in motion. Let's look at another couple, the Bedfords. This chart shows where they expect their money to go this year. It's broken into two big buckets. Non-discretionary expenses, that's the stuff they have to pay, like their mortgage, and discretionary expenses, the stuff they choose to spend on, like going out to eat. So after you take their income and subtract all those expenses, the Bedfords are projected to have this much left over, $7,580. This number, their cash flow surplus, well, it's the most important part of their financial movie. And why is it so important? Because this surplus is your fuel. It's the money you can use to pay down debt faster, to save, to invest. It is literally the engine that's going to power you towards your financial goals and grow your future net worth. Right, so once you figure out what your surplus is, the next logical step is to make a plan to put that extra money to work for you. Here are 3 strategies that are incredibly effective. First, set realistic goals. You don't have to save the world overnight. Second, and this one is a game changer, pay yourself first. Treat your savings just like any other bill that has to be paid. And third, automate the whole thing. Set up an automatic transfer so you save without even thinking about it. All right, let's bring it all home and tie everything we've talked about into a complete financial health plan. So if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Your net worth is your score. It's that snapshot that tells you exactly where you stand today. But your cash flow, especially your surplus, that's your plan.
That's the movie that determines which direction you're heading tomorrow. You really need both to see the full picture.
So, there you have it. You now have the basic tools to do your own financial checkup. You can calculate your snapshot, you can analyze your movie. The only question left is, what's the first goal you're going to plan for?